Welcome to ComSoul Media. In this video, Elon Musk, the new world richest man, shared with us the 6 business principles that powered him over the likes of Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos to become the richest man on the planet. Before we go ahead to open this gate of secrets, please subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and click the bell icon to notify you as soon as we upload a new video. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to write in the comments section and let us know what you feel about our videos. Just like me, I know you can't wait. Let's go and get it. Elon Musk, the outspoken entrepreneur behind Tesla Incorporation and SpaceX, is now the richest person on the planet. A 4.8% rally in the electric carmaker's share price on January 7th boosted Musk past Amazon.com Incorporation founder Jeff Bezos on the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, a ranking of the world's 500 wealthiest people. The South Africa-born engineer's net worth was $188.5 billion at 10:15 a.m. in New York, $1.5 billion more than Bezos, who has held the top spot since October 2017. As CEO of Space Exploration Technologies Corporation or SpaceX, Musk is also a rival to Bezos, owner of Blue Origin in the private space race. The milestone caps an extraordinary 12 months for Musk. Over the past year, his net worth soared by more than $150 billion in possibly the fastest bout of wealth creation in history. Fueling his rise was an unprecedented rally in Tesla's share price, which surged 743% last year on the back of consistent profits, inclusion in the Sant 500 index, and enthusiasm from Wall Street and retail investors alike. The jump in Tesla's stock price further inflates a valuation light years apart from other automakers on numerous metrics. Tesla produced just over 500,000 cars last year in 2020, a fraction of the output of Ford Motor Company and General Motors Corporation. The company is poised for further near-term gains as Democrats captured both Georgia Senate seats and handed control of Congress to the party that's advocated for quicker adoption of electric vehicles. Musk, 49, has benefited from Tesla's stratospheric rise in more than one way. In addition to his 20% stake in the automaker, he's sitting on about $42 billion of unrealized paper gains on vested stock options. Those securities come from 2 grants he received in 2012 and 2018, the latter of which was the largest pay deal ever struck between a CEO and a corporate board. Despite his astronomical gains, Musk has said he has little interest in material things and has few assets outside his stakes in Tesla and SpaceX. He said in an interview last month that the main purpose of his wealth is to accelerate humanity's evolution into a spacefaring civilization. "I want to be able to contribute as much as possible to the city on Mars," Musk said. That means just a lot of capital. The 6 main secrets to business success and how I was able to become the richest man on the planet. 1. It isn't about the money. This is absolutely central to Elon Musk's attitude to business. When asked how much he has, he said he didn't know how rich he was. "It's not as if there is a pile of cash somewhere," he said. "It's really just that I have a certain number of votes in Tesla, and SpaceX, and Solar City, and the marketplace has value on those votes." He doesn't have anything against the pursuit of wealth if it's done in a sort of an ethical and good manner, but said it just isn't what drives him. The approach certainly seems to be working. His electric car company, Tesla, has performed particularly well. Shares have surged over the past year to take its value to more than $700 billion. For that, you could buy Ford, General Motors, BMW, Volkswagen, and Fiat Chrysler, and still have enough left over to buy Ferrari. But Musk, who turns 50 this year, doesn't expect to die rich. He said he thinks most of his money will be spent building a base on Mars, and wouldn't be surprised if the project consumed his entire fortune. In fact, like Bill Gates, he would probably regard ending his life with billions in the bank as a mark of failure because he hadn't put that money to good use. 2. Pursue your passions. That Mars base is a clue to what Elon Musk believes is the key to success. "You want things in the future to be better," he said. "You want these new exciting things that make life better. Take SpaceX," he said. He set the company up because he was frustrated the US space program wasn't more ambitious. "I kept expecting us to advance beyond Earth, and to put a person on Mars, and have a base on the moon, and have, very frequent flights to orbit," he said. When that didn't happen, he came up with the idea for the Mars Oasis mission, which aimed to send a small greenhouse to the red planet. The idea was to get people excited about space again and persuade the US government to increase NASA's budget. It was while he was trying to get that off the ground he realized the problem wasn't a lack of will, but rather a lack of way. Space technology was far more expensive than it needed to be. And on this note, et voila! The world's cheapest rocket launching business was born. And here's the important thing, its genesis wasn't about making money, but landing a person on Mars. Musk said he regards himself as an engineer rather than an investor and says what gets him up in the morning is the desire to solve technical problems. It is that, rather than dollars in the bank, that is his yardstick of progress. He knows every hurdle his business has overcome helps everyone else who's trying to solve the same problem, and it does it forever. That's why, shortly before one of his interview, the entrepreneur had announced he was going to open up all Tesla's patents to speed up the development of electric vehicles worldwide. Elon Musk has perhaps the most exciting portfolio of businesses on the planet. There's SpaceX with its mission to Mars, and Tesla with its super-fast high-tech electric cars. He claims his Hyperloop concept could revolutionize public transport. And even his Boring Company is kind of interesting, it aims to find new ways to dig tunnels. So which one will end up changing the world most? It is my contention that it will be his battery business. Doesn't sound that scintillating, does it? But the compact, lightweight lithium batteries that mean you can now stream movies on wafer-thin phones will soon be powering much more of your life. You're probably already interested in the potential of electric cars. But maybe you also have the usual concerns about actually buying one, the price, the range, and worries about where you're going to charge the thing and how long you'll be stuck there. Yet the market certainly seems to reckon they are the future. Just look at the Tesla share price. One reason is that Elon Musk has been teasing investors and rivals with the promise of Battery Day sometime soon, at which he will announce a series of advancements in battery tech. 3. Don't be afraid to think big. One of the really striking things about Elon Musk's businesses is how audacious they are. He wants to revolutionize the car industry, colonize Mars, build superfast trains in vacuum tunnels, integrate AI into human brains, and upend the solar power and battery industries. There's a common thread here. All of his projects are the kind of futuristic fantasies you'd find in a kid's magazine in the early 1980s. Put it like this. His tunneling business is called the Boring Company. Musk makes no secret of the fact he was inspired by the books and movies he consumed as a kid in South Africa. Which brings us to Musk's third business tip: don't hold back. He believes low ambition is baked into most companies' incentive structures. Too many companies are incrementalist, he said. If you're the CEO of a big company and you aim for something that's a modest improvement, and it takes longer than expected, and doesn't work out quite as well, then nobody's gonna blame you. You can say it wasn't my fault, it was the suppliers. But if you are bold, and go for a really breakthrough improvement, and it doesn't work, you're definitely going to get fired, he argues. He says this is why most companies focus on making small improvements to their existing products rather than daring to imagine completely new ones. So, his advice is to make sure you're working on what he calls stuff that's going to matter. First, he wants to accelerate the transition from fossil fuels. Here's what the entrepreneur had to say about that. We're drawing upon deep gas fields and deep oil fields that haven't seen the light of day since the Cambrian era. If the last time something saw light was when the most complex organism was a sponge, you really have to question whether that is a wise move. Second, he wants to ensure the long-term survival of humanity by colonizing Mars and making life multi-planetary. Like I say, think big. 4. Be ready to take risks. This one is obvious. You've got to have skin in the game to do well, but Elon Musk has taken more risks than most. By 2002 he had sold off his holdings in his first two ventures, an internet city guide called Zip2 and the online payment company PayPal. He had just entered his 30s, and had almost $200 million in the bank. He says his plan was to put half his fortune into the businesses and keep the other half. Things didn't work out like that. In 2014 he was just emerging from the darkest period of his business life. His new companies faced all sorts of teething troubles. SpaceX's first 3 launches had failed, and Tesla had all manner of production problems, and supply chain and design issues. Then the financial crisis struck. Musk said he faced a stark choice. I could either keep the money, then the companies are definitely going to die, or invest what I have left, and maybe there is a chance. A chance? This guy is a monster investor in my opinion. He kept pouring in money. At one point he was so in debt he had to borrow money from friends just to pay his living expenses, he said in an interview. So, did the prospect of bankruptcy frighten him? He says it didn't. My kids might have to go to a sort of government school. I mean, is that a big deal? I went to a government school too. 5. Ignore the critics. What really shocked him, and it was clear in 2014 he was still very upset by it, was the delight many pundits and commentators took in his travails. The liberal schadenfreude was really quite astonishing, said Musk. There were multiple blog sites maintaining a Tesla death watch. I suggested people may have wanted him to fail because there's a kind of arrogance about his ambition. He rejected that. I think it would be arrogant if we said we were definitely going to do it, as opposed to we're aspiring to do it, and we're going to give it our best shot. That to me is clear-cut brevity, and not in any way arrogance. He said in an interview he didn't believe SpaceX or Tesla would ever make money when he set them up, and the truth is nor did anyone else. That is a flip-side business model. I mean, you go into business for the money first, then any other thing can follow. But to Elon, the thrill of solving humanity's big problems is all he cares about. But he ignored the doomsters and went ahead anyway. Why? Remember, this is a man who judges success on the basis of the important problems he solved, not how much money he has made. Think about how liberating that is. He isn't worried about looking stupid because his big financial bet hasn't paid off. What he cares about is pursuing important ideas. It makes decision-making much simpler because he can stay focused on what he believes really matters. And the market seems to like what he's doing. In October, the U.S. investment bank Morgan Stanley valued SpaceX at $100 billion. The company has transformed the economics of spaceflight, but what will make Musk most proud will be how his company has reinvigorated the U.S. space program. Last year, his Crew Dragon rockets launched 6 astronauts to the International Space Station, the first such missions from U.S. soil since the space shuttles were retired in 2011. 6. Enjoy yourself. Follow this guide and, with a bit of luck, you'll become impossibly rich and famous too. Then you can start to come out of your shell. Elon Musk is famously a workaholic. He boasts of working 120-hour weeks to keep production of the Tesla Model 3 on track, but he seems to be a super fun dude too. He seems to have been enjoying himself. He has stoked controversy everywhere online. With defamation lawsuits, on-air dope smoking, and wild outbursts on social media. In 2018 he ran into trouble with the US financial regulator when he tweeted that he was planning to take Tesla private, and when the COVID-19 pandemic forced Tesla to shut down production at San Francisco Bay Area factory. He became a vocal opponent of coronavirus lockdown restrictions. He called panic over the virus dumb on Twitter, and described stay-at-home orders as forcible imprisonment, saying they were fascist and a breach of constitutional rights. In the summer he announced plans to sell off his physical possessions, saying they weigh you down. Days later he took to Twitter to tell the world his newborn son would be called X-A12 Musk. Please don't ask me to pronounce that again, thank you. Yet his unpredictable behavior doesn't seem to have affected his businesses, and the entrepreneur remains as ambitious as ever. In September, Musk claimed Tesla would have a compelling $25,000 car within 3 years, and said soon all the company's new cars would be completely self-driving. And his year ended with a real bang in December, when SpaceX tested its Starship launch vehicle, which it hopes will take the first humans to Mars. The giant rocket exploded when it crash-landed 6 minutes after liftoff. And Elon Musk hailed the test as an awesome success. This dude knows the principle of success. He enjoys his failures and even makes fun of them. He knows that unless you are able to tolerate failure, you certainly will not be able to open the gate of success. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like and share. Thank you for being here.